Hey everyone, welcome back to Midnight Recaps. What if the one thing that could make you rich was also the one thing that put your life in danger? For Jessie, her beauty opened every door in Hollywood, but it also attracted people who would do absolutely anything to have it. Tonight's nightmare is the Neon Demon 2016. The movie opens inside a photo studio, where a young model named Jessie is lying on an elegant sofa, covered in fake blood for a fashion photo shoot. At first, it looks like she's been brutally murdered, but it's all part of the makeup and artistic concept. The photographer, Dean, finishes taking the final shots, marking Jessie's very first modeling photo shoot. After the session, Jessie cleans the fake blood off in the dressing room, where she meets Ruby, the makeup artist. Ruby introduces herself and welcomes Jessie to Los Angeles. Since Jessie is new to the city, Ruby invites her to a party later that night so she can meet people in the fashion industry. That evening, Jessie goes to the party with Ruby. There, Ruby introduces her to two experienced models, Gigi and Sarah. The three women immediately notice how naturally beautiful Jessie is. Later, while they are in the restroom together, Gigi becomes curious about Jessie's appearance and even asks about her dating and sexual experience. Wanting to seem older and more confident, Jessie lies and pretends she's more experienced than she really is. After that, they all head back to enjoy the party. The following day, Jessie attends a meeting with Roberta Hoffman, the owner of a modeling agency. Roberta looks through the photos Dean took and is instantly impressed. She tells Jessie that she has exactly the kind of face the fashion industry is looking for and signs her to the agency right away. However, because Jessie has just turned 16, Roberta tells her to claim she's 19 whenever anyone asks. She then arranges a private test shoot with famous photographer Jack MacArthur. Later that evening, Dean takes Jessie out. Unlike most people in the fashion world, Dean seems genuinely interested in her as a person rather than just her looks. During their conversation, Jessie admits that growing up she never really knew what she wanted to do with her life. She says she couldn't dance, she wasn't especially talented at writing, but she always believed one thing. She was beautiful, and she thought that beauty could become her future. She also tells Dean that the modeling agency wants her to lie about her age. She only turned 16 a month ago, but everyone expects her to say she's 19. Dean is surprised by how young she really is, but instead of judging her, he simply tells her to make whatever decision feels right for her. When he drops her off at her motel, he leans in to kiss her, but Jessie gently turns her face away before getting out of the car. Back at her motel, Jessie gets the shock of her life. She walks into her room and discovers that a cougar has broken in through the open balcony door and completely destroyed the place. Terrified, she calls the motel owner, Hank, for help. Rather than showing concern, Hank blames Jessie for the damage and even expects her to pay for it. Fortunately, the next day, Jessie arrives for her test shoot with Jack MacArthur. Ruby is there once again to do her makeup. Once everything is ready, MacArthur asks everyone, including Ruby, to leave the studio so he can work with Jessie alone. He asks Jessie to remove her clothes and carefully paints her body with shiny gold paint. The unusual photo shoot goes extremely well, and the final pictures turn out exactly how he wanted. When it's over, Jessie meets Ruby outside the studio, and Ruby gives her phone number, telling Jessie she can call anytime she needs help. After Jessie leaves, Ruby talks with Gigi and Sarah. The three women can't stop thinking about Jessie. They all recognize that her youth and natural beauty make her different from everyone else. Ruby even admits that there's something very special about her. Soon after, Jessie attends a casting call for famous fashion designer Robert Sarno. Sarah is there as well, hoping to land the same job. As the models walk in one after another, Sarno barely pays attention to Sarah. But the moment it was Jessie's turn, his entire focus shifts to her. Without hesitation, he chooses Jessie for the job and immediately takes her for costume fitting. Sarah is devastated. She storms into the restroom and smashes a mirror in frustration. Hearing the noise, Jessie runs in to check on her. Sarah, clearly heartbroken, asks Jessie what it feels like to be the girl everyone admires. Without thinking much about it, Jesse confidently replies, "It's everything." That answer pushes Sarah over the edge. She suddenly lunges toward Jesse. Jesse pulls away, accidentally cutting her hand on a broken piece of glass. Sarah asks to see the wound, but instead of helping, she strangely puts Jesse's bleeding hand in her mouth and sucks the blood from it. Shocked and disturbed, Jesse quickly pulls her hand away and runs out of the restroom. Shaken by what just happened, Jessie returns to her motel. Moments later, someone knocks on her door. She opens it and finds Dean standing there with flowers. Jessie suddenly faints while taking the flowers. She experiences strange visions before finally waking up. Dean stays by her side and helps clean the cut on her hand. Some time later, Jessie attends Robert Sarno's fashion show. Gigi is surprised to see how quickly Jessie has risen in the industry and comments that she's moving much faster than anyone expected. During their conversation, Gigi also reveals that her flawless appearance isn't natural. She has gone through multiple cosmetic surgeries to achieve the look she has today. As the show begins, Sarno makes an important decision. He chooses Jessie to close the entire runway show, giving her the final and most prestigious walk of the night. Jessie experiences another series of strange visual hallucinations involving bright geometric shapes and reflections of herself. After the event, Jessie and Dean head to a bar together, where they meet Sarno, Gigi, and Sarah. There, Sarno begins talking about beauty. He openly criticizes Gigi's surgically enhanced appearance and says that Jessie's natural beauty is far more valuable. According to him, real beauty is worth more than personality, talent, or anything else a person has inside. Dean finds the conversation uncomfortable and decides it's time to leave. But Jessie, now enjoying all the attention and admiration she's been receiving, she chooses to stay behind, showing just how much the fashion world is already beginning to change her. Later that night, Jessie returns to her motel room but struggles to get any rest. While asleep, she has a disturbing nightmare in which the motel owner, Hank, forces her into a horrifying situation where he tries to make her sexually swallow a knife. She suddenly wakes up in a panic. As she catches her breath, she hears someone outside trying to unlock her door. Frightened, Jessie quickly secures the deadbolt and stays completely silent. Moments later, whoever was outside gives up on her room and breaks into the room next door instead. Jessie hears a young girl screaming as the intruder attacks her. Jessie immediately calls Ruby for help. Ruby tells Jessie to come stay at her house for the night. Once she arrives, Jessie finally has a chance to calm down. She takes a shower, changes into clean clothes that Ruby provides, and the two spend some time talking. While brushing Jessie's hair, Ruby thanks her for trusting her and the conversation becomes more personal. Jessie tells Ruby that she appreciates having someone she can rely on in Los Angeles. However, the moment quickly becomes uncomfortable when Ruby begins making romantic advances toward her. Jessie immediately makes it clear that she isn't interested. She also admits that she lied at the party earlier. She's actually still a virgin. Ruby doesn't give up right away and tries once more to get closer to Jessie, but Jessie firmly pushes her away, making it clear that she wants their relationship to remain only as friends. Later, Ruby leaves for her second job at a local morgue, where she works as a cosmetologist preparing bodies for funerals. It's here that the movie takes another disturbing turn, showing just how unstable Ruby has become. Meanwhile, Jessie remains at Ruby's house, unaware of what is happening. Ruby eventually returns home, where Jessie suddenly finds herself surrounded by Gigi and Sarah. The two women attack her. Jessie desperately tries to escape and manages to run outside, hoping to get away. But Ruby catches up to her near an empty swimming pool and shoves her into the deep end. They eat parts of her remains and bathe themselves in her blood. Afterward, Ruby casually washes the empty pool. She then lies down inside Jessie's unmarked grave. Later that night, while alone at home, Ruby experiences a disturbing and unexplained physical reaction as blood suddenly pours from her body while she lies on the floor. The following day, Gigi and Sarah arrive at one of Jack MacArthur's photo shoots, with another model named Annie. As soon as Jack sees Sarah, he immediately loses interest in Annie. He invites Sarah to replace her in the shoot, and she happily accepts while Annie is dismissed. As the photo shoot gets underway, Gigi suddenly begins to feel sick. She rushes off the set, with Sarah following close behind. Moments later, Gigi vomits up one of Jesse's eyeballs. Horrified, she realizes she can't live with what she's done. In desperation, she grabs a pair of scissors and fatally stabs herself in the abdomen. Sarah watches Gigi die without trying to help. She then picks up the regurgitated eyeball, swallows it herself, and calmly returns to the photo shoot as though nothing had happened. That's the end of tonight's recap. What did you think of this movie? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're craving another terrifying story, tap the video on your screen right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one.